This week, we are focusing on common misspelled words and challenging vocabularies to help students improve their reading and writing skills. Word number 1 is autumn. The season after summer and before winter is called autumn. In Australia, autumn is between March to May. During autumn, leaves start to wither and turn orange. Do not forget the letter N in autumn. Word number 2 is precious. When something is precious, it means it is very valuable and expensive. For example, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa portrait is a precious painting worth $620 million in 2016. Sometimes a precious item has no price value because it is not for sale. For example, you are all your parents' precious children. There is no price value. Word number 3 is ferocious. The adjective ferocious means violent, wild, and cruel. For example, the ferocious panther chases its prey until his hunger is satisfied. The word ferocious contains the letter C. Word number 4 is barbarous. The adjective barbarous means extremely brutal or violent. It's the synonym for word number 3, ferocious. For example, Adolf Hitler was known to be a barbarous dictator who slaughtered millions of innocent people. Break the word up to help you remember the spelling. Barbarous. Do not forget the middle A in barbarous. Word number 5 is devoted. The word devoted can be used as an adjective or a verb in a sentence. The adjective devoted means very loving and loyal. It is the opposite of ferocious and barbarous. For example, Winnie the Pooh is a devoted friend. In this case, devoted is used as an adjective to describe Winnie the Pooh as a kind and loving friend. As a verb, devoted means to sacrifice. For example, Nelson Mandela devoted his life to Africa to fight for racism and inequality. Word number 6 is fragrant. The adjective fragrant means sweet-smelling and perfumed. For example, the air was fragrant with scents from the sea and the gardens. This means the air smelt very nice. Word number 7 is exasperated. The verb exasperate means feeling very annoyed. For example, Mum became exasperated with her son when he made a huge mess in the kitchen. The word exasperate contains only one P, not double P. Word number 8 is coax. The verb coax means to persuade someone slowly and gradually. For example, I have to coax baby William into drinking his medicine so he cooperates. Word number 9 is cultivate. The verb cultivate means to grow plants or crops. For example, desert is not a place you can cultivate crops because it is too dry and hot. Break the word up to help you remember the spelling. Cultivate. Don't forget the letter I. Word number 10 is lily pad. A lily pad is a round floating leaf of a water lily. You can find lots of lily pads in China or Chinese gardens. The spelling of lily pad is two separate words, not one word. Lily is spelt with L-I-L-Y, not L-I-double-L-Y. Word number 11 is lotus. A lotus flower is a water lily that floats in a pond. The fresh jade-white seeds of the lotus can be eaten raw or cooked. It can also be used to make medicine. Lotus is also a religious and spiritual symbol because they rise from dirt and only show their beauty for a brief amount of time each year. Word number 12 is oasis. The noun oasis is a spot in a desert where water is found. It's also another word for haven, a place of calmness. For example, the enchanted garden was an oasis of calm where I can relax in peace and quietness. Word number 13 is wit. The noun wit means a very small part or amount. For example, the last whit of warmth was drawn off by the setting sun. Do not spell this word as white. If you take the letter E off white, it becomes wit. Word number 14 is wit. This wit without the letter H is the homophone of word number 13, which refers to intelligence. It is the skill of using words in a manner that is both amusing and clever. For example, some authors' wit makes their novels humorous and smart to read. A person who has a wit can try to be clever and funny, but often many people do not find it amusing at all, but rather eccentric. Word number 15 is glance. The word glance means to take a quick look. It can be used both as a verb or a noun in a sentence. For example, I panicked when I glanced at the math questions and realized they were so hard. In this context, glanced is used as a verb. As a noun, a glance is also a quick look. For example, the woman gave me an evil glance before she looked away. Word number 16 is quaint. The adjective quaint means strange in an interesting, old-fashioned way. For example, there are many quaint villages around the world which look very different to our modern cities. Do not forget the letter I in quaint. Word number 17 is spurious. Another word for spurious is fake or false. For example, mean girls often like to spread spurious gossips about their peers at school. This means gossips that are not true. The word spurious rhymes with furious. If someone spreads spurious information about you, you will become furious. Word number 18 is lout. A person known as a lout is either an aggressive man or boy, also known as a thug. Your parents would not want you to be friends with a lout. Word number 19 is tine. A sharp point of a fork is called a tine. Do not spell tine as time. Word number 20 is rhinoceros. A rhinoceros or rhino is a large, heavily built, plant-eating mammal with 1 or 2 horns on the nose and thick folded skin. You can find a rhinoceros in Africa and Southern Asia. A male rhinoceros is called a bull. A female rhinoceros is called a cow. A baby rhinoceros is called a calf. And a group of rhinoceros is called a crash. Be careful with the spelling of this word. Do not spell rhinoceros as rhinoceros. There is no letter U. Don't forget the letter H in rhinoceros. This brings to the end of our spelling list 23B. Keep practicing and good luck in your spelling test.